Hey guys, it is CryptoWendyO here. Today it is Christmas Eve. I'm extremely excited to be doing a video like this. This is actually my first time doing a news TA commentary thing on my channel. I normally guest host on other people's channels and talk about this stuff there. Also, today is kind of a special day for me. Today is actually the 22nd anniversary of my father's passing. So I decided that I wanted to actually do this to kind of celebrate his memory and to continue to grow and to try new things in the crypto space. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about news. I'm going to pull up some charts. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on different things going on in our ecosystem. As I continue to do these and as I feel more and more comfortable, I'm going to they're going to be a little bit more fancy. I'm going to have a fancy green screen behind me. I'm going to have a better cam, all different things. So if you are watching this now, I appreciate you so much for watching and supporting me, and I'm hoping that if you are not subscribed, you will subscribe and also hit the like button for me. It's important and it means a lot to me. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So I first want to talk to you guys about the market. This is our current market cap. Earlier today, everything was pretty red. Even last night, everything was red. One interesting thing that I do want to talk about is Ethereum is normally in second place on top cryptocurrencies, but now we have flipped with XRP, which is very interesting. I know XRP has a very strong community, and then I know that there's a lot of people that don't like XRP. Me personally, I don't care about it. I love Bitcoin. I trade a lot of altcoins to accumulate more Bitcoin. I have no issues with XRP. I actually have a moon bag of it when I first got into crypto. If you like it better than Ethereum, that's great. That's awesome. But this is something that I did want to point out. So I thought it was a little bit interesting to me. And if you're looking at the change in 24-hour period, XRP is in green. So and Ethereum is negative 5.50%. So kind of interesting to me, but you know, when we do have this flipping, a lot of times it doesn't really last this long. However, we'll see what happens. So I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about the market cap and all kinds of stuff and see what I'm seeing. This is our top 100 coins. But yeah, there's that. But let's go ahead and talk about some news. And after we get through the news, I'm going to show you guys some stuff on some charts. I did 2 Bitcoin videos talking about the market. I believe I did one on Sunday night and I did one, or Saturday night and Sunday night, talking about what I think is going to happen. But I want to go ahead and go through those with you and kind of show you what's happening, because I did spot something extremely interesting on the Bitcoin Weekly RSI. So there's that. Oh, also too, I did forget to say in the beginning, which I say in the beginning of all my videos, I have a really amazing disclaimer at the bottom. Make sure you read it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to go ahead and comment below. I will answer them. I promise I will have live streams for you guys very soon. And you can always DM me on Twitter. I'm there. I'm very active. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or have any advice for me, let me know. But let's go ahead and talk about the news. There's a couple stories that I wanted to talk about. Also too, the stock market is not doing well. I believe we dumped about 20%, and I'm not sure how that correlates with Bitcoin pumping. I think it's just indications of the market. I believe that in the United States we're in our technically recession period. Every 8 years I believe we're supposed to go through some sort of recession, and I believe it's that time. I really don't talk about traditional stocks too much on my channel because I'm more into crypto. But yeah, so there's that. But I don't think that there's any sort of correlation as to why Bitcoin is pumping. You could classify that as fundamental analysis, but I will go ahead. I'll kind of show you what I'm seeing on the Bitcoin chart again in a little bit after I go over the news. But that is something that I did want to mention because it is important. And then also too, the government shutdown, which that happens all the time. Democrats and Republicans, whatever, they get an argument about whatnot. Don't know exactly why it shut down. My husband pays a lot of attention to that stuff, so I kind of try to stay out of politics if I can. I'm more concerned about crypto. I do know that I am fortunate enough to live in the United States, and we're pretty stable here as far as our government goes. As crazy as that sounds, but compared to other countries like Venezuela and the Middle East and places in Africa, we do have it pretty good here. So I try not to really focus on government stuff too much. But anytime that it does involve crypto directly, or the SEC comes out with a statement, or there's a new law that's passed in one of the states, I like to be updated and talk about that. And if I can't, interview anybody from the government or attorneys or whatnot. So make sure to always look for that. But let's go ahead and talk about some news just to see what's going on. One thing that was really, really interesting to me was, and all of this news is from Cointelegraph, I'm just kind of going to summarize it, talk to you about my opinion and what I think. So one of the top stories is Binance is to add Ripple-based trading pairs in new expansion. Also, CZ followed me on Twitter. I was really excited about that, so I'll make a post about that also. But anytime I hear Binance, I have to be very excited about that because it's exciting. CZ's awesome. He is literally like a cowboy right now and just kind of doing what he needs to do to, you know, get Binance to where it needs to be. And it's pretty awesome and really exciting to watch happen. And if you're new to crypto, we're like in the middle of a financial revolution. So it's a very, very exciting time. I know, you know, crypto's been around for about approximately 10 years, but it's still really exciting, and it's exciting to, we're still early and exciting to kind of watch all this stuff play out. So there's that. But let's talk about Ripple-based trading pairs and new expansion. So normally the most important trading pairs, or the most common, are Bitcoin, Ethereum, some Litecoin, not too much. I've actually never used a Litecoin trading pair. I know some people do. I know there's a lot of arbitrage opportunities if you're a trader and you want to flip different kinds of cryptos. But now they're adding Ripple, which I know that the Ripple community is probably extremely excited and happy about, because they will probably be using Ripple as a trading pair to trade all their alts. So this is really interesting. And another thing that CZ said, that they are going to give precedent to companies that donated to Binance and to their charities and whatnot. So one thing that's really important to me, and I think that there's a lack of this in the crypto community, there's not a lot of companies that are donating to charities, and that's important. If you look at regular traditional companies, you have companies like Walmart, you have companies like Target and McDonald's. All those companies, even though we might not think that they're the most ethical and they have, you know, they have different issues, but at the end of the day, our current, as far as marketing goes, it's a very effective way to market your store, your product, or your company by giving back to the community and making sure you're in compliance with the environment and doing all kinds of stuff. So the fact that CZ is recognizing that companies that are donating to charities and kind of giving them a one-up and giving them these trading pairs or having special relationships with them or whatnot, that's pretty cool, because it sets a really good precedent for other companies. 2017, we saw a lot of scammy ICOs and companies and whatnot. And when I use the word scammy, I don't think that these companies initially set out to be scammers or to take money from people. I think that a lot of people got into crypto and started businesses because they really thought that they can, you know, make money doing it and support their families. So I don't think that was like the ultimate goal to scam people, but I use that word because in some cases that's what happened. And in order for a lot of companies to be legitimate, they're going to have to follow some traditional marketing and finance and legal tactics to maintain in crypto. And I know that a lot of people don't like that I say that, because we're all about decentralization and disruption. But at the end of the day, we have Bitcoin that does a really good job of being decentralized and nobody's controlling it. But we have all of these companies coming in that are creating projects and creating things. And in order for them to do that successfully, we need some sort of regulation. You can love me for saying that, you can hate me for saying that, but at the end of the day, I don't know when there was a period in time or history when we didn't have any sort of government regulation. In the United States, if we have another civil war and we separate, you're going to have some sort of people in power no matter what. So no matter what, there's going to be government intervention, and we have to figure out how to come to like a middle ground and whatnot. And I do know that the SEC, if you leave comments, by law, they have to read them. And positive change is going to happen with us becoming more active and talking about things in the space. So back to what I originally wanted to talk about was, you know, CZ is giving precedent to companies that are donating to charity, which I think it's really important. It's important, and it makes me feel good that these companies are actually allocating a particular portion of their finances to help charity. So I'm not exactly sure which charities they were, but you can find more about that on the article here. So they're also talking about, they said the same day they were set to launch Tron XRP and Zcoin XRP. So that's there. That's cool. That's awesome. That's exciting. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, Italian financial regulator issues cease and desist orders to crypto-related projects. So what happened here is these particular projects which were not named in by Cointelegraph, they were suspended and offering fraudulent cryptocurrency investment schemes. Don't know what companies they were, but you know, you have to be compliant. If you want to have a functioning company, you have to be compliant with the laws. So there's that. Very, very important to do that. If you guys need attorneys or you have a project, I know attorneys I can refer you to that can help you be compliant and do the right thing so your company thrives. All right, there was another one. I didn't want to talk about this one, but I have to find it. Okay, so Bloomberg Wall Street giants postpone entering crypto industry amid falling prices. So this title is very catchy. And they're talking about various companies that, you know, we're talking about ETFs and futures and all that type of stuff that are still kind of waiting and not entering into the market. So my thoughts on this, I think traditional finance has already entered the market, and I think we're going to find out about it a little bit later on. I also think that it's not necessarily these big entities like Morgan Stanley and Citigroup and Barclays and all that type of stuff. I know Bakkt is launching something coming up very, very soon. I know ETFs, they're pending on being released or whatnot. I do think ETFs will be released. I think it is a matter of time. I know that they kept getting denied, but it's going to happen. Traditional finance, they want a piece of what's going on with crypto. They see it as a really, really amazing opportunity. But however, back to what I was saying, as far as traditional finance getting it, I think these huge companies, they are doing what they need to do to satisfy their investors and their shareholders and their stakeholders and all that great stuff. But at the end of the day, I think there's, you know, maybe CEOs or, you know, managers or whatnot, that they're already invested in crypto and they're just not running it through their big companies. So I think that's what's happening. I think as time progresses, we're going to see more and more traditional finance people entering, and we're going to hear more in the news. I know it's already happening. But there's that. There's this news. I think it's already happening, and they're not stupid. They're not going to let something as big as crypto slip right through them. So that's why it's important for us to educate ourselves and figure out what's going on and kind of stay ahead of the game as much as we can, because we do not want them to take over again. We don't want our rights to be taken away like they were at the Fed. Our whole point, well, at least my whole point with entering into crypto, is kind of getting some freedoms back and being able to be my own bank. I don't care for the Fed. The Fed does need to end. But in order for history to not repeat itself, we need to stay educated and updated on what's going on. Last thing, I think I talked about the government shutdown. Oh, this title here, at least 340 UK crypto or blockchain companies ceased operations in 2018, report finds. So about this, what's happening? A lot of crypto companies are downsizing. Why are they downsizing? Because of the market. Market is down. We are in a bear market. This is what happens. Regular stock markets go in a bear market. So what's happening and what happens in any industries, anytime you have the markets down, they have to fire employees. They have to let go of some employees. And it's not necessarily because they didn't plan, because I'm sure some of them did plan, but at the end of the day, it's expensive to have employees. It's expensive to pay people. So what happened is probably due to the market. However, I think once the market starts to pick up, and I think it's going to start picking up in 2019. I made a video about it. Make sure you guys go watch it, like it, and subscribe to my channel again. But I think that once the market starts picking up, we're going to see a lot more jobs being created in crypto and blockchain and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. But I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about the charts, because the charts are my passion. It's what I love to do. So let's go talk about the charts. All right. One really cool thing I do want to show you guys is my very good friend, Jacob Canfield. I saw him post a chart about the crypto total market cap. And to do this, I want to show you guys how to do it. You type in total 2, and this is the market cap. This is all the altcoins market cap. And you can actually go ahead and chart it, which is freaking amazing, because it's literally telling you when is a good time to enter and when is not a good time to enter. So I'm going to go over this with you guys. And then also too, if you want to type in the altcoin market cap with Bitcoin, you would type in total 1 here, total 2 is just altcoins. So let's talk about what is going on. We are bearish. I'm looking at the 4-hour right here, and we are extremely bearish. We were rejected off the 0.618 fib here. We dumped down, we broke through 0.5, and now we're testing 0.382. I'm not going to say this huge number here because I don't want to. I'd rather just go off fib line. So we are correcting. And this is the 4-hour chart again, guys. If you want to go ahead and you want to look at indicators, I use the stochastic, I use the regular RSI. We are dumping. So that's what happened. That's what's happening right now. We need to make sure we find support and we find ground here at 0.382. However, looking at the indicators, we might drop down to probably about here, I would imagine, or which is a current or a very, very strong support. But I want to go ahead, look at the daily just to kind of get another perspective or another time frame. Anytime you're charting or entering any type of project, check all your different time frames. It's really awesome. It's very helpful, and you can kind of write down all your notes and whatnot. I talk about this in a lot of my videos. I'm going to try to do a little TA series for you, so that's going to be coming as well. But let's get back to it. Looking at the, where are we? We are at the daily. Looking at the stochastic RSI, we are extremely overbought. And we are actually bear crossing, which means heading downward. Anytime you are overbought like this, you are going to dump, especially in the stochastic. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. Also, too, RSI is dumping. This is bearish. So what I think is going to happen, I think we're probably going to dump. We're probably going to test about 2386. We could stop about in this area here, about 531, and possibly even test the MA line, which is here. You can use your MA line as a market sentiment gauger or just a support or resistance because it's an MA. So there's that. However, let's go ahead. Even though it's kind of bearish right now, the MA line is bullish because it is pointing upward, and it's also going to be hitting the 0.2336 here. So there's that. So I think right now, as far as alts go, be careful. If you look, I've actually charted a couple altcoins on Twitter today. I take coin requests, but I was looking at a couple different altcoin charts, and a lot of them are very bearish. A lot of them had pumped because the market did really well. Bitcoin was up a bunch, but be careful when you guys are entering. Do not buy green candles. Look to red candles. Look to buy, you know, things that the price is down. A really great time to buy alts was here in middle December. Why do you say it was a really great time to buy alts? Well, it's kind of bottomed out in this area here. So anyways, I'm not saying price is going to get back down here again. We don't know. We're kind of in a little mini bull run at the moment, but be very careful. Don't just buy alts and expect to swing them. Look at the total market cap. Look at what's going on with Bitcoin, and look at your altcoin. Below in the link in my description, I have Profit Signals, which is also my friend Jacob's signal group that he has. It's really affordable to join, and they give really, really great signals on alts and what alts are doing. So if you're interested in that, the link is below. It's really cool. I've actually looked at it and I've used it, and very, very impressed with how they have the interface set up. It's extremely, extremely easy to use. So there's that. But let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin before we get ready to sign off. Okay. So this is a chart that I had made talking about what I thought was going to happen. And I did a video on this. You guys can go ahead and watch it. So I'm not going to go into it too much. But basically, if we repeat what has happened here, we found really, really strong support here, and we pumped up about 50%. Currently, we have found strong support here at about 32, 31, and we are pumping up. However, I noticed something with the RSI. RSI on the weekly has become bearish. What does this mean? This means a red candle is forming. So be very careful when you guys are, if you guys are margin trading, make sure you are very, very careful as to what's happening and what's going on. Right now we were bearish. I would not, for me, this is a no trade zone because I don't like to see, another thing also too, our indicators are conflicting. Anytime you have, our RSI is bearish, our stochastic RSI is bullish. Anytime you have conflicting indicators like this, it's always a good time to kind of take a step back and just kind of watch what's going on. So I did say that it was a possibility that we'd be able to pump to about 46, even 57, 60, if our indicators pumped up. However, right now, RSI has a downward tick. This is bearish. Another thing I talked about on my vid is we were at a pretty important resistance area, which was here. So what happened is RSI bounced up and then went back down. So that's what's happening. We're correcting a little bit. We had this beautiful, beautiful big run on the RSI, and then we're going downward. I thought that this fractal would play out similar to this one that occurred in March. I don't know if it's going to happen. We're going to have to wait and see what the RSI does. And another thing that I've said and I've talked about before, I don't think our bear market is over yet. I think that there's going to be, I think we're going to do a lot of consolidation until like the end of 2019, 2020, and then we're going to see some parabolic movement. I don't have the chart up because I wasn't prepared to talk about this, but I love talking about crypto and charting. But I will show you guys this really, really, really quickly. So you see this pump up here, this beautiful green candle, this huge pump we had back here. This was October 2013, and this occurred October 2013, and then we dumped. This is very, very similar to December 2017 when we had this beautiful big movement up here, and then we dumped. So one thing I want to show you guys, right here, 2013. And then we were consolidating. And we finally started to make some upward movement about 2016, 2017. I think in 2020, that's when we're gonna continue to drop, not all the way down here. That's not going to happen. Bitcoin's not going to zero. It's not going away. However, I do think we could see areas about, I don't want to say 1700 because it sounds terrible, but areas in the 2500 to 1800 area. So that's what I see. Don't know if it's going to happen, but I think if we do end up dumping and going back down, what will happen is we will consolidate. Have a lot of consolidation in whatever area our bottom is. I don't think, let me fix this. I do not think that, I don't think that we're like completely mooning. We had a really, really nice moonshot, as to why I called my video Bitcoin to moon to 5670, because it's a good opportunity for us to do it based on the indicators. However, with the RSI, once the RSI dumps on the weekly, you're going to see some negative price action, which we're seeing now. However, 32 was a really, really great area to find ground, to find bottom. Personally, I don't like to call, oh my God, this is the bottom or the top, but I like to just note it as regular routine price action, because this is important. If you're going to be trading or we're investing or whatever it is you're doing, you need to know what's going on. So that's what I want to say about that. I believe that 32 is an excellent, strong support area, but I don't know if that's bottom yet. We're going to have to wait and see what the market does. Let me see if I have anything for you guys here. Okay, yeah. So Bitcoin, we have this this is actually my chart that I use to trade and do all my fun stuff. We have a really, really ugly red candle here. This is the 4-hour. So we had issues breaking 42.49, and now we are dumping. We are testing the 37.60 area here. The stochastic looks like it's it might bull cross. However, RSI is dumping. So be careful this weekend. Spend this time with your family. Enjoy your kids, your family, whatever. Try and stay away from the markets. If you're going to enter anything, look at the different charts and whatnot. But I do want to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to try to do more of these. I enjoy doing them. I like talking on YouTube to you guys and interacting. I love crypto, love what I do. I appreciate and love the community. Merry Christmas to you guys. Be safe, have a great rest of the evening, and I will try to be back by Wednesday. Bye-bye.